Okay guys, let's talk about transitioning our reinforcements. In this case, I'm going to use food because I've done everything with toys with you guys. And just to prove that food does work, I want to talk about being able to have food a parent or toys a parent. I guess we could be demonstrating this with both. And teaching the dog to understand that this food that he really, really wants, right, is something that he can have, but he can't have it until he, yes, offers me a behavior, okay? Because I want to be able to have this food readily available, or I want to be able to have that toy, yes, good boy, in my hand, and know that my dog is still going to be capable of working. You have to remember that everything that happens in training needs to happen in a way that when we get into a trialing environment and there's so much stress and so much energy and adrenaline, that the dog is still able to think through all of the distractions. I know that people have a tendency to avoid distractions by getting rid of them. So toys and treats are one of those things that when the dog starts to get too crazy or too high or too invested in the treat or the toy, they put it away. Well, rather than putting it away, we need to train through it. And the reason this is so incredibly important is because, well, number one, the dog's primary reinforcer slash motivator must at some point be the distraction. Why? Because if they can work through that, they can work through pretty much anything. Also, dogs need to learn in a training environment to have to think through the type of stresses that they're going to get in the ring. And if we keep everything so sterile, when you walk into the ring, obviously everything changes. Yes. And it gets so much more difficult here, buddy. I know, wrong color treats. So much more difficult for the dogs to do things correctly. So one of the things that I want to know for certain is that as distracting as this whole nice, lovely, big piece of lamb lung might be, you know what, dude? You don't get it just for looking at it. You get it, yes, by offering me a behavior. So just using this jump as an example, that he can stare at this all he wants. He can beg for it all he wants, right? But the smarter thing, yes, to do would be to offer a behavior in order to get it. The same thing can be done with our toys, right? He wants his toys. And I want to be able to have this toy, yes, have this toy in my hand when I'm training. You can see how quickly they pick it up, right? He wants the toy. So the choice that he made, rather than jumping up on me and taking the toy, was to offer me a behavior instead. Yes, good. And that's how he gets the toy. Now, this becomes something that is a little bit more desensitized. I can use this, yes, when I'm training without expecting him to lose his mind. He's going to just simply go, oh, I know the way to get that toy. Do something she wants. The next piece of the puzzle is remembering to give them what they want. I do think that we would be better at reinforcing more regularly and more appropriately if the treats and toys were more accessible. And that's another reason that I actually prefer to train with those things in my hand. I just know that I have to go through this process of making it not such a big deal to have something in my hand in order to be able to do that. All right? Okay, guys, your turn.